I never thought installing a basketball hoop would lead to federal charges against our HOA president, but that's exactly what happened. My name's Michael. I'm a software engineer. I work from home, and until last summer, I thought I'd carved out a peaceful life in Oak Ridge Estates. That was before I crossed paths with Karen Wilkins, the self-declared queen of our neighborhood, president of the HOA, and a woman who treated the bylaws like gospel scripture she alone could interpret. It started with a birthday gift. My son had just turned 12. I bought him a regulation-size portable basketball hoop. It sat at the edge of our driveway, nothing fancy, just a collapsible system that could be moved. I even triple-checked the HOA bylaws. No rule against portable recreational equipment, so long as it wasn't permanent. The next morning, my son was outside practicing his free throws when a silver Mercedes rolled up and parked half an inch from our curb like it owned the street. Out stepped Karen, platinum blonde bob, clipboard in hand, sunglasses on, as if she were surveying an active crime scene. "Excuse me," she called out, loud enough to stop the birds. "I don't recall receiving a modification request for this contraption." She gestured dramatically toward the hoop. I calmly explained it was portable, not a permanent fixture, and by my reading of the bylaws, completely allowed. Her smile turned rigid. "That's not for you to decide," she snapped. "Remove it by tomorrow or face a daily fine of $100. Then she peeled out of my driveway like she was escaping a hostage situation. My son looked heartbroken. "Are we really gonna take it down, Dad?" I told him no, we weren't. But I already knew this wouldn't end here. The next day, a bright orange violation notice appeared taped to my front door. The language was dramatic. "Unapproved recreational equipment in plain view from the street." I took photos, scanned the letter, and fired off a courteous but firm email to the HOA board. I attached pictures, cited the correct bylaws, and emphasized that the hoop was stored off to the side when not in use. 3 members emailed back, privately. They agreed with me. But none of them dared say it out loud. Not to Karen. Over the next week, it escalated. More notices. More absurdity. My grass was suddenly overgrown by less than half an inch. The garden hose color clashed with the community aesthetic. My son's bicycle, which sat inside our open garage, was classified as a visual nuisance. Each violation came with a fresh fine and passive-aggressive language about non-compliance endangering property values. The total stacked into the thousands. I kept my cool. I documented everything. I organized a quiet meeting with a few sympathetic board members and walked them through it all. The truth was obvious. Karen was abusing her power. They agreed. An official letter was sent from the board declaring that the basketball hoop was compliant, and that all fines against me were void. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. 2 days later, I received a new envelope. This one didn't come with an HOA letterhead. It was worse. Child Protective Services. Or at least, that's what it claimed. The letter said that multiple reports had been made concerning the well-being of a child residing at my address. An inspection was scheduled for the following day. It was signed by K. Williams, Senior Case Manager. I felt my stomach drop. I live alone with my son. Nothing in the world terrifies me more than the idea of someone questioning whether I'm a fit parent. But something felt off. The grammar was sloppy. The state seal looked grainy, like a bad photocopy. The number listed didn't match the one I found online. I called the real CPS. They had no record of a case. No one by the name of K. Williams. The woman I spoke to was immediately concerned. She asked me to forward the letter to their fraud department, and told me to be cautious. This wasn't the first time someone had faked a report to weaponize the system. My hands were shaking when I hung up. Not because I was scared of being investigated. Because I knew exactly who sent that letter. The next day, at the exact time listed in the fake CPS letter, she showed up. Karen Wilkins, wearing a cheap blazer and a laminated badge clipped to the front pocket that read, Child Protective Services. Her voice was different, measured, rehearsed, overly formal. Mr. Reynolds, I'm Kathleen Williams. I'm here for your scheduled inspection regarding reported concerns. I stood there, silent for a moment, making sure every second was being captured by my security cameras. Then I smiled. Hello, Karen. Her face twitched. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't threaten. I simply said, impersonating a federal officer is a felony. Her smile collapsed. I've already spoken to CPS. They've never heard of you. They've seen the letter. And they're very interested in what you're doing here. The badge was a printed photo with Child Protective Services typed in mismatched fonts. The clipboard looked like something from a school play. She still tried to power through it. This is a serious matter regarding the safety of a minor. If you deny access, that's obstruction. The lie cracked under pressure. Her face lost all color. She muttered something about ensuring proper neighborhood standards. Then she turned to leave, but it was too late. 2 police cruisers were already pulling up, just like I'd arranged after reporting everything to the CPS fraud team. She walked faster, almost stumbling over her heels as she reached her car. She tried to toss the clipboard into a bush, but one of the officers stopped her with a firm voice. Ma'am, we need a word. She froze. What followed felt surreal. Karen tried every trick: righteous indignation, fake confusion, sudden tears. She claimed she was checking in as part of HOA safety protocols and only trying to protect the children of the neighborhood. The officers weren't buying it. I handed them the forged letter, pointed out the badge, and shared the real CPS contact info along with a forwarded email from the fraud department confirming that no such inspection existed and that this was a serious federal offense. Neighbors began gathering outside, some whispering, some filming. Karen's voice cracked as she begged them to believe her. When they put the cuffs on her, she shrieked, "This isn't over! I'm calling the board! This is a misunderstanding!" But there was no misunderstanding. She impersonated a government agent to terrorize a parent because she didn't like a basketball hoop. 3 weeks later, I testified in court. So did a CPS supervisor, a fraud investigator, and 2 HOA board members who confirmed that Karen had gone rogue. The charges were serious: impersonating a federal officer, mail fraud, fabricating government documents, and attempted unlawful entry. During the investigation, authorities also discovered she'd been embezzling HOA funds for over a year, paying for spa treatments, restaurant bills, and boutique shopping under the guise of maintenance disbursements. The HOA held an emergency vote. Karen was stripped of her position, permanently banned from board participation, and her finances were turned over to state investigators. No one defended her. The illusion of control she built had collapsed overnight. At her sentencing, 6 months later, Karen stood stiff in a courtroom packed with people she once ruled over. When the judge read the verdict, 3 years in federal prison and a $25,000 fine, she buckled at the knees. Her lawyer caught her before she hit the floor. She mumbled through tears, "I was just enforcing the rules. I was just doing my job." The judge didn't flinch. Creating fake government documents to intimidate a father over a basketball hoop isn't enforcement, he said coldly. It's a crime. And with that, the gavel came down. The chapter was closed. All because my son wanted to shoot free throws in the driveway.